My inspiration from Black Seas comes from my long-standing passion for the Age of Sail in general. Specifically the period covering the Napoleonic Wars, which Black Seas covers at the moment, between 1770 and 1830. I have always been incredibly interested in naval combat games. I just love the atmosphere that that age contributed to. Just long sea voyages dotted by intense period of battles. Also, I come from a city which is on the sea. It's an Italian city called Trieste, so the sea has always been in my heart, and it will always be in my heart. So I've always had this attachment. Also, my favorite leader in history is Lord Admiral Nelson. I think there's no greater leader than him. And the period of the Napoleonic Age of Sails is by far my favorite in the whole Age of Sails, although I like it all, really. This is the period at which ships reached the peak of their technological advancement. That technology could not be surpassed, and it was at the most efficient and beautiful. Later on, steam came in as the main mean of powering ships, and iron hulls would very quickly substitute the wooden hulls. Furthermore, I was influenced by a will or a wish of making the game more of a fun-paced game rather than a simulation of how it was to sail a square-rigged ship in those times, as that was very, very difficult. It required enormous amount of coordination and skill. Hundreds of men climbing up ratlines and pulling up sails and down sails. It must have been a thing of beauty to observe, but also required an enormous amount of discipline and, as I said, skill. So I wanted to make those difficulties more abstract for the sake of fast-paced and enhanced gaming experience, in my opinion, that would allow you to just have a fun game with your friends or with an opponent.
Black Seas has been designed totally digitally. Within Warlord we have both traditional putty sculptors and digital sculptors, but this is one of the first projects where we've done everything purely digitally. Marco has worked wonders on these ships, making them as detailed as possible, but also sturdy enough for use in war games. For Black Seas, we decided to produce the ships and the terrain in 1/700th scale. It gives you enough detail to be able to make out the names of ships, rigging that, and rat lines that aren't too fiddly to put together on a ship, as well as break off in games. So we think that's just a sweet spot between a really great looking kit and something you can actually play a game on a table, 4x4, 6x4. We've got stacks of new stuff coming up. We're leading out of the gate with the British and French navies, so the Royal Navy and the French fleet. So within those you'll be getting gunship squadrons, frigates, third rates and first rates, brigs as well. The difference with the fleets between those and the frigate and brigs plastic boxes and the third rate plastic boxes is we're going to have lots of bespoke backplates and figureheads so that you can make famous ships. So Indefatigable, Minotaur, Themis, Lemmion, all of those things are going to be available in the fleet. So you can either make them as a generic ship or you can focus on specific ships from history. Obviously we've got the really big named ships. So we've got HMS Victory, we've got Lorient, we've got Santa Ana, we've got the Santissima Trinidad, which is huge, and we've also got the likes of USS Essex, So we've got a lot of the named ships, but on top of that, we've got lots of, for want of a better word, generic ships coming through. So sloops, bomb catchers, schooners, small third rates, merchant vessels. We've got an absolute stack of those things coming through over the coming months. And on top of the two fleets, as I mentioned, for the French and the British, we'll also have it for the US Navy and the Spanish. We've had a lot of fun working on the US in particular, because it's a very different fleet, not having so many big ships, but having more of the super frigates. So in that box set, you'll be getting USS President, USS United States, but we'll also be producing the back plates, the figureheads, so you can get the likes of the Chesapeake, etc. So we've got lots and lots of stuff coming through, including terrain. So we've got a terrain pack we're actually working on this very moment, which contains wrecked ships, lighthouse, Martello Tower, shore batteries, lots of stuff that's going to add to your gaming experience. So we've got you covered.